Hi, I'm Patu from FreeFinCal. The Finance Ministry clarified yesterday that March 31st, that is today, will be the end of financial year 2019-2020. The new financial year 2020-2021, will start tomorrow on April 1st. Now, many people have had a lot of confusion about this. So they ask, so suppose if I do a PPF investment tomorrow, or if I buy some or renew my life insurance tomorrow, will it come under the financial year 2019-20 or the new financial year? The answer to that is up to you, because the government has given an extension of ATC or tax saving instruments, an extension for one more quarter, that is until 30th of June. So if for the current financial year, that is for 2019-20 financial year, your tax saving instruments have not been completed, then you have the time to complete them, whether it is in PPF or you can buy health insurance or anything else. You can complete them for this financial year, current financial year, up to 30th June 2020, and you have to report it accordingly in the income tax return. If your tax saving is complete for this financial year and you want to start saving tax for the next financial year, then you can do so for that from tomorrow, that is from 1st of April onwards. If you invest in PPF, let's say on April 2nd 2020, then that will come under financial year 2020-2021 if you report it accordingly. Say there is no problem. The financial year's dates have not been changed. It is up to you to report it, as long as you are careful in reporting it and do not double report anything. You are absolutely fine. There's no confusion about this, so don't get confused. You can start investing for saving tax for the new financial year 2020-2021 from April 1st tomorrow onwards. Now, if you are thinking about investing 1.5 lakh within April 5th, the reason being that if you invest 1.5 lakh, then the entire amount along with the current existing balance will get the full interest for the rest of the year, all the months of the year. Then just hang on a minute and think about what you are doing before you do so. You can do it, there's no legal problems about that. I have already shown that whether you invest 1.5 lakh within the first 5 days of the financial year, or you split it up and invest it in 12 installments across the year, the difference in interest after 15 years will be very, very small if you factor in inflation and all that. It's really not worth the headache. And the big problem with many investors today is their equity exposure is extremely small, and this is because they have gone overboard on PPF, EPF, VPF, all sorts of fixed income. They've gone overboard in this, and their equity exposure for long-term goals is extremely small. If you continue to keep investing 1.5 lakhs every year, there is no chance for your equity exposure to become significant. It should be for long-term goals, it should be at least 50 to 60% for at least first few years for it to make a difference. Because the PPF is for 15 years, you can use it practically only for your retirement or for your children's education if you are started it at the correct time. Then for such goals, you also need a significant amount of equity exposure for you to have any chance of beating inflation and becoming financially independent after retirement. So please do consider your asset allocation before you rush in to invest 1.5 lakh within the first 5 days of April. Now, coming to my strategy, I have mentioned this several times. I have 4 PPF accounts, one for me, one for my wife, and then for my son's goal, I have one minor account in his name as and myself as the guardian, and I have another PPF in the name of my mother because she has pension, she needs tax saving. I'm using that as well, and I clubbed it to my son's tax saving because she's with us and the cash flows are all fungible. And because of all that, in spite of all that, I should say, or in spite of having 4 PPF accounts for more than 10 years, all of them are more than 10 years old, we have never invested 1.5 lakh into PPF on any financial year, because that will screw up our asset allocation. We have invested 1.5 lakh sometimes, but that is via rebalancing. Almost thrice, I think, I have rebalanced from equity for my son's mutual funds. I have booked profit and then shifted into PPF and not made any further investment that financial year. I've done it thrice during this 10-year period, and that is the reason why I have built up a sizable fixed income allocation for my son, as I've mentioned several times. So if you know how to use it, you can use it, right? There's no need for you to rush and invest 1.5 lakh every year. Please don't do that. You can do it if your asset allocation allows it. I'm not saying no, but for most people, they just like the tax-free fixed income, guaranteed income, and they keep their equity exposure low. Please recognize you can get 35% returns from equity, 25% returns from equity, but if your exposure in your total portfolio is not significant, then it makes no difference at all. It's really of no use if you have only 20% equity exposure, 35% returns. So please recognize you have to have exposure, especially for long-term goals and only for long-term goals, and using PPF is for a long-term goal. So please take that into consideration before doing that. So that's what I wanted to say. Thank you. Bye-bye.